We as a society are miserable. It doesn't take long for anybody to be able to find somebody that is dissatisfied, that is living a meaningless life, that is chained and enslaved by their own thoughts, and possibly even maybe that's you who's watching. Somebody that is continually living life, feeling and knowing and thinking that they're living a miserable existence. Is it possibly because of rising costs, increased stress? Is it cutthroat competition at work where it's damaging not only yourself or colleagues? Is it possibly the social distrust and isolation of not only your friends, but a community around you? Possibly. Or maybe it's the fact that we're living in a reality that no longer exists, that we're living in the death of a mutual objective reality where people can no longer come together and to be able to experience a life that is similar to their own. But I would like to think that one of the things that makes us so miserable is something that always keeps popping up again and again as time goes on. And that is when we are living through false beliefs, a false type of distorted reality that is giving people a misconception of their life, who they are, and the types of feelings that they have for themselves and those around them. Because overall, the objective of this video is to be able to free the mind. We're starting a new series all about how we can free our internal mind, because once we're able to free our mind, we then can move forward into the external to free the self, then free the external, so that ideally that you're living a life that's worth living. And remember, this is the same type of approach that I'm going to be able to continue with. It's just very raw, not a lot of edits, keeping it simple, making sure that that type of communication is something that people can really connect with, and if that's the type of vibe that people like, then I'm going to continue to do that. But the overall goal is to be able to set ourselves free in simplistic and applicable ways that gives people meaning, purpose, and to be able to raise ourselves to higher abilities of success. But one of the things about false beliefs is that it's where you have convictions and assumptions that are distorted. They're not real. It's all in the mind. They're assumptions and convictions about ourselves and the reality around ourselves that ultimately limit our freedom. It's distorted. It's not real. And because of that distortion, it leads us down a path of despair and gives us, in a way, a kind of a mixed baggage of our own reality that no longer is connected to the others around us. And every time that you have a false belief, every time that you start to develop this distortion, you are brick by brick, moment by moment, building a personal prison for your mind. And the more you build that prison, the more you continue to have these false assumptions and beliefs and convictions with your false beliefs, you are progressively constraining yourself to this distorted reality that is only going to lead to your despair and anguish. And as it goes on and on, it's over time, it's going to limit your freedom. And these could be something as simple as labeling certain things as good or bad, whether or not they are or not. It's the way that you see the world around you. It's the way that you're interacting with it. It's the way that you are understanding what is true and what is false, what is good, what is bad, connecting your self-worth to these judgments and assumptions before even anything happens. And I want to be clear. Of course, there's horrible things that happen to us every single day. I'm specifically talking about ways in which we are connecting these supposed thoughts even before they're happening, or we distort it so much that it becomes something entirely different. And that's really the caveat. Because ultimately, your struggles are leading you closer to despair, and you are becoming less and less free. But the good thing is this. When you think about all of your struggles, it's easy to imagine that you're the only one suffering through them, that you're the only one that is having these horrible thoughts and emotions and different things that are happening within your mind. But the good thing is this, that billions of people around the world are also suffering from the same fate. And in the past, the eons of time in history, people have been struggling through the same things as well. But your own prison that you've built is truly why you are suffering. We suffer more often in our imagination than our reality, as Seneca once said, a great Stoic. And this is going back to some of the theories and thoughts of past philosophies that I'm going to be interconnecting into this freedom based philosophy that are very prevalent, very useful, and can be utilized from anybody when a given situation is necessary. Seneca, Letters from a Stoic, is a wonderful place to start and how to be able to embrace a mindset to prepare for the bombardment of life and the different type of difficulties that we have with judgment and assumptions and distorted convictions. But he is correct. We do suffer often more in our imagination than our reality because your mental suffering is not reality in itself. It's rather the project and the movie, the show that we keep playing again and again in our minds. It's the story that we tell ourselves because that's what we think is true. That's our reality. It becomes such a distorted reality, though, to where we can't even recognize ourselves any longer because of these past judgments and because of these falsities that we think are true and accurate. But the thing is this, when your pain that you create for yourself is distorted to the point where your reality is distorted, you then create a mental blockage where you are no longer free, that you are continually limiting yourself so that a lot of possibilities are no longer present. Because ultimately, your distorted thoughts are built on the assumptions of the different moments that come to your mind, the different memories and actions and things that happen around you. It happens like this. It's quite simple. The arrival of whatever event is happening within your mind, it's the sensory, it's the sight, the sounds, and the smells and everything that's happening in that very moment, that present moment. Then the conceptual of what someone may have said or some memory or something that is happening to you. As soon as it happens, you have a choice. You can either see it as rational and as objectively as possible to see a complete and true reality, or possibly that is the moment where you begin to start seeing a different light. Because at the beginning, it's an unfiltered, objective response. It's a neutral beginning. But over time, you start to see the world in a tinted light. And the thing is, it happens so quickly. It happens very, very quickly. The thing is, the wisdom is to be able to find the gap between your impression and what we do with it. Because for the moment, it's a neutral, sensory connection that you first have. But what are you going to do with that neutral, unfiltered sensory action? Are you going to see it as objective truth? Are you going to be able to experience it in a way where you're not passing judgment? Or are you going to add a filter to it and see the world in a little bit different light that could cause you distress and limit your freedom? The thing is this, people are not conscious of the gap. They see something, then they experience it, then immediately they pass judgment on it, then they feel those emotions that are connected with it, and now it distorts your reality. It's very quick, very fast, and oftentimes people don't even recognize that it's happening. They're not aware. They're not consciously aware, having that metacognition that they're needing to be able to understand the world around them. The thing is this, the impressions that arrive when people are fusing it with distortions, when they are fusing it with distortions, that's leading to their own personal enslavement. It could be something as simple as your boss frowns at you. That then becomes my boss hates me. When possibly your boss maybe was just in a bad mood, had nothing to do with you, right? But yet you are making that connection. You're fusing it with a distortion, changing and altering your reality So now that it's completely affecting your worldview and you're living in this false belief system again and again. Or possibly they didn't text me. You're on your phone. This person's not responding to you. They didn't text me. And maybe that means to you that they don't like you, that you're not worthy, that what you are saying is stupid or meaningless. Anything like that becomes something so much more out of control and distorted than it possibly shouldn't have been able to have. But this is where the moment where truly freedom begins to shrink. This is the moment where you start to becoming everly increasingly enslaved into your own thoughts. Because the thing is that if you can't free your mind, and something so basic, something so simple as just being aware of your thought process, being aware of your miscalculation, your distorted reality, being aware of these assumptions and convictions, how are you ever going to be able to be free? Overall, this is where freedom begins to shrink. This is the moment where, as time begins and these same mistakes continually happening again and again and again, your freedom, your possibilities, your ableness to excel is shrinking day by day, living in a distorted reality that where possibly you could have been something is now becoming a constraint and you're restricted in a type of distorted reality that is no longer possible because you have continually limited yourself in the way that you see the world and people and view yourself every single day. And with this corrupted mindset, you are becoming enslaved to mental hallucinations built on assumptions and continual irrationality. Overall, the reason, though, we make such fast judgments is really because of our evolution. You see something in the woods, you see something lurking around, and then immediately you think, danger, I got to get out, I got to run, I got to be safe. It needs to be something where I can be able to move forward and try to survive. Now, in the modern era, though, we are not prepared for that quick transition out of this evolution that has gripped us from these false beliefs and quick judgments. But rather, it's something that we need to just be aware of. It's something that we need to be fully conscious of whenever this happens. It's a moment where, in a split second, our emotional reaction leads to false beliefs. And already by that point, it's begun. It has happened. Whether or not it's a conversation in the moment or a past memory or even something into the future. Whatever it is, the way that we react, the way that we're perceiving it, is it objectively and rationally authentic, true to yourself, or has it become a distorted reality of just assumptions and convictions that are not based by facts? The prison that you've built in your mind, I know that over time, the brick by brick, laying the groundwork, laying the foundation of the prison that's in your mind, I'm sure that you can close your eyes and there's certain memories or certain possible future moments and events that are going to come that are causing you distress, that are weighing you down like an anchor, is a moment in time where that prison will be finally complete. And when it is complete, that door to your prison is going to slam shut. And when it does, those impressions will now then become your identity. And with that identity, you become the I'm unworthy. I'm a failure. Nobody likes me. I can't complete anything. I can't do anything. I'm a loser. And it just goes on and on, this endless cycle that you just can't get out of. That's what happens when the door slams closed. And that's what happens when your prison is finally complete. You are living in a distorted reality that you're not able to get out of. And your life now and ultimately could possibly forever be tainted, just like a Instagram filter that has altered and changed the very reality of everything around you. Your entire existence is tainted and distorted. Is that the type of life that you're wanting to live? Is that the type of life that you're wanting your friends or family to live? Most people that I'm sure that you know have some type of form of this, but whether or not they're able to break free is entirely up to them. So now, ultimately, most people, maybe even including yourself, have become enslaved to a false and distorted reality. A reality that they never thought would be possible, but yet is. A reality that is warped, not authentic. And that deep down, deep inside of us all, there is that authentic, radical approach to who we are, what we want, our values, our ambitions, and the things that we can do to excel in life, but yet possibly will never be able to be seen because of that distorted reality. My last question to you, though, is this: are you ready to break free?